Here, Mark. This is the new Bucketliner schedule.
Boy, they really tightened up the times.
Well, we have to keep people on the trains and off of the planes. No need to worry. We'll be fine.
At first, the trip was going smoothly. Luke was performing very well and without any problems. The Bucketliner daylight was right on schedule, but it would be long until time became the train's worst enemy. During the trip, Luke has to take on water at 3 different stations. On the old timetable, Luke would normally be ahead of schedule, but when he was taking on water at the first water stop, Dennis noticed that they were dramatically behind schedule.
Mark! We gotta get the hell out of here!
Why? We have plenty of time.
Look! I'm not sure which clock you were looking at, but we need to get moving.
What in the world? How did this happen?
I don't know. Let's just get into the cab and get out of here.
What about water? The tank isn't full yet.
There's no time. We can fill up at the next water stop.
Time, however, is something they couldn't make up. No matter how fast Luke went, he couldn't get the train back on schedule. By the time the daylight reached Salt Lake City, it was 45 minutes behind schedule. As the days passed, the situation happened yet again, and again, and there I say it, yet again. The passengers were beginning to complain, and less people rode the train. Mr. Iverson soon took action of this immediately.
Sir, we cannot keep up with this new schedule. Even if we speed, Luke can't keep up.
I know, this is all my fault. I should have planned the schedule a little more carefully.
Why did you change the schedule in the first place?
I was trying to compete with the automobiles. With these roads streaking out across the entire country, the speed and the on-time capacity was the only way to save the train. I had to change the schedule based on Tyler's performance. I couldn't see how Luke would perform because there wasn't any time.
Can't you just change the schedule again?
It's already created. I can't change the schedule again since we have already sold tickets and made advertisements for this schedule. I would be mocked and fired for such a waste of money. However, there might be a way that you guys can still get to pull the Bucketliner daylight and keep it on schedule. I'll be tagging along tomorrow to see if I can fix this whole thing. The next day, the Bucketliner daylight arrived at Fort Fairfax ahead of schedule. Mr. Iverson's business car was hooked up between Luke's tender and the baggage car. During the trip, Mr. Iverson jotted down the arrival and departure times along with several notes, theories, and ideas for improvements. A few days later, Mr. Iverson gathered Luke and his crew at Fort Fairfax Yard to present his idea. Well, I figured out how to improve your performances. It is actually quite simple. All we have to do is to eliminate the water stops.
What? Are you out of your mind?
Shut your mouth and let me finish. Before you reach your first water stop, you guys are doing fine. But then, well, you kind of get the picture.
But sir, Luke needs to take on water. Being stranded on the main line is much worse than being late.
That's why I have a solution. What we need is an auxiliary tender. An auxiliary tender?
You know, Mr. Iverson, that's a great idea. If we acquired an auxiliary tender for Luke, we will be able to keep up with the new schedule.
And my job as an express locomotive. That's brilliant!
The problem is we don't know how to build an auxiliary tender.
That is why I have Mr. Ainsworth here. Before he came to America, he used to work for the London and North Eastern Railway in Britain. The railway also relies auxiliary tenders, so Nigel is no stranger to the idea.
Oh yeah. Hey Nigel, you told me earlier that you used to work at one of the works, right?
Yeah, I had a chance to build one of the auxiliary tenders. I strongly suggest that we find an unused tender in good condition, take it to the shops and rebuild it into a prototype. I would acquire a second tender if possible.
Good idea, Mr. Ainsworth. There is an old yard outside of Los Angeles that holds some old and unused equipment. There are bound to be some tenders in that yard. I'll take Jimmy with me tomorrow to get a few possible contenders.
What about us, sir? If we can't pull the bucket liner daylight, what are we supposed to do?
You'll just have to do freight service that Tyler normally does when you're pulling the bucket liner daylight. Let him take the train from LA to Salt Lake City. Tyler's not gonna like that, sir. That may be true, but with steam locomotives not capable of doing this schedule, Tyler is our only option.
Yes,
sir.
Oh man, now I know how Larry felt after he got trapped in that avalanche in Donner Pass.
Oh, I hate this storm. It can't any worse. Oh my god, it can! Ah!